How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massa Beer Reviews, back with a little bit of a little Christmas in July up in this piece in the form of the Dolle Brewings. It's their Stille Nacht, Silent Night. Yeah, I have not reviewed this beer in over 6 years, and I drink one of these every Christmas. 2019 vintage for those keeping score at home, but for some bizarro reason, I couldn't find one. That's why I didn't have one this past season, and I haven't really seen them on the shelves. Which is, not that this beer is just like everywhere, but typically I find one if I want to, and I couldn't find one, but I found one the other day. So we're going to drink it. 2019 vintage, classic Belgian style labeling. This is a 12% Belgian pale ale, so it's one of your bigger beers. It's probably one of the best aging beers in the history of mankind. 2019 version, so you're talking, 2 years old, give or take. And we'll see how the sucker plays. So straw in color, hazy straw. Looks like a double IPA almost to a certain extent. It had a white as white could be head on it. That's dissipated pretty quickly. So you're talking about a classic Belgian strong ale. Malty, a little banana phenolic maybe. We'll see what's what. Yeah, this is really just a rich kind of marmalade-y fruitiness is kind of what I'm getting off of this. I'm not getting much as far as a classic aggressive bittering, not that it would be there to begin with, but there's this kind of soft little slightly tea-like kind of vibe to the bittering. And the other end of things is this kind of orange marmalade-y kind of characteristic kind of floating around in there. No big booze to speak of. You're talking about 12%. You expect to have a big pop on it. Sure, a couple of years will temper that, but even then you expect to have at least a bit of heat on the nose, not really getting that. So it's more of a sweeter kind of, almost like a Belgian blonde barley wine kind of vibe on it. It has that rich sweetness to it. That orange marmalade thing with those little bit of tannic tea vibes. So I'm thinking like orange pico barley wine or something like that. That's kind of crazy. Why don't we just dive in? Cheers. God damn, that beer is effing delicious every goddamn time. It is actually really tannic tea-like bittering. We're definitely in the alcoholic orange pico thing going on right now. There's big orange vibes. Definitely has that marmalade thing I was talking about. But that little bit of that tea-like, tea leafy, super tea tannic kind of thing I got in the nose that was there, but nothing too aggressive. Actually jumps out of the glass in the taste. It's huge, it's big, it's bold. But it needs to be there. It needs to be able to kind of balance off some of that sweetness in here. You definitely know you're drinking a big beer here. It's not like super hot, but there's this kind of warming of the cheeks, kind of little bit of tiny, subtle little bit of heat going down, but more warmth than anything else. And it's just that interplay between that tea-like, that black tea-like thing and that big orange marmalade thing, which, again, I keep saying like an orange pico kind of barley wine, but that's kind of what's coming on here in a very fun way. Yeah, all the parts of I guess Belgian barley wine doesn't go English barley wine, but not really, because it doesn't have that caramelly, taffy kind of chocolate malty, not chocolate malty, kind of raisinette kind of figgy thing going on here. It is more of that marmalade thing, but it definitely has those barley wine kind of vibes to it. When you get that little bit of tannic tea-like kind of bittering on there, it just adds this kind of dimension to it that's really, really tasty. Full disclosure, I like this beer much older. 2019, you're talking about probably a year and a half, I'm guessing, because this comes, I'm assuming they released this. This has got to be released during winter. So we're in July of 2021. So you're talking about a year and a half. I'm talking, I want 5 years on this, minimum. Very much kind of like how I like my English barley wines. But it's still tasty AF as it sits right now. It's actually one of that funner, more progressive beers to buy a couple 4-packs of this and then drink one super fresh. Find it as fresh as you could be and open one every year for a couple of years down the road, or even spaced them out a couple of years and drink it over a 10 to 15 year span. It's probably one of the better kind of yearly kind of openings of beers that you can do. I wish I'd had the patience to do that, because if I have this in my house, I am drinking it. I actually bought this on Saturday. Today is Wednesday. I'm impressed that I waited this long to actually crack into it. And yeah, absolutely delicious beer. One of my favorite beers. And like I said, missed it sorely this year during the Christmas season. So a little Christmas in July. Yeah. Is this one of the better Belgian beers? I guess. I guess I guess, yeah. Mount Rushmore status. As it sits right now, it's in a conversation. It's up towards the top. It's not Mount Rushmore status. Only because I've had this beer with 10 years on it plus. And when it ages and ages beautifully, that is the Mount Rushmore status of this beer. So it's not so much that this isn't worth it. It's just I know I can get a better version of this with a little bit of time on it. Value and availability on this, I forgot what I paid for this. I don't care. Honestly, I probably $8, I think is what I paid for it. There was a price on here probably. I just pulled it off. But probably like $8 is kind of what these, $6 to $8 is what these usually go for. And leave you with, if you like, what we like this beer. If you like barley wines, you like Belgian beers, and you want a orange marmalade, orange pico, tea-like, tannic Belgian barley wine, you'll like this. So there you go. Review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers if you want to check me out doing the social media stuff. Beer Massif if you want to check me out doing the whole podcasting thing. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Let me know if you had this too. Hopefully you're enjoying, a good beer right now. Yeah, that works. Hopefully see you next time. Cheers.